Good morning. Today we're going to solve multi-step inequalities. This is part 2, some more examples and a few word problems. So write the title down, 7.3. This is either B or day 2, solving multi-step inequalities. All right, let's get started. Example 1, you're going to write the problem down and then we're just going to solve it like we normally do. So we're going to distribute. So 4 times 3, you get 12v, and then 4 times a negative 3 gives me negative 12, is less than 16. So we solve it just like we do equations. We'll add 12 to both sides. 12v is less than, I'm adding, so I have 28. And then I have to divide both sides by 12. So there's nothing special about this one. You've done this before, so your answer is 28 over 12. You can change that into a decimal. I prefer that you at the very least reduce it so that you have a reduced fraction. So we can divide both of these by 4. 28 divided by 4 is 7. 12 divided by 4 is 3. So my answer is v is less than 7/3. And if we graph that, we would put 7/3, and you can also put, never mind, 7 over 3, and you determine what kind of a circle. So it's an open circle, and then because it's less than, and then v is less than, so that means you graph it to the left, less than 7/3. Okay, let's do a couple more. All right, here we have example 2, so write the problem down. The first thing you notice is that you have a fraction with a q, and that you have a q on both sides of the inequality. So you have choices. You can clear all the fractions now if you'd like, or you can subtract 2q from both sides or add 3/5 q to both sides. So I'm going to go ahead and add the 3/5 q to both sides. Add 3/5 q. Okay, when I do that, then these two cancel. I have to bring down my 6, bring down my inequality, less than or equal to, and then I have negative 12, bring that down, and then I add 2 and 3/5. So I have plus 2 and 3/5 q. Alright, now I need to add 12 to both sides. So that cancels. This is 18 is less than or equal to 2 and 3/5 q. So now what I would need to do is divide everything by 2 and 3/5. So if I divide everything by 2 and 3/5, then I will get my answer. And there's no negatives involved, so we don't have to switch or flip the inequality. Alright, so I'm going to do the work. This work right here, I'm going to do this on the side. So I take 18 and I'm going to divide it by 2 and 3/5. So I'm going to put 18 over 1, and then I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal, but first I have to popcorn it, so I get 5 times 2 is 10, plus 3 is 13. So this is 13 over 5. So now I'm going to flip it to get 5 over 13. And then I multiply across, and when I multiply across I get 90 over 13. So my answer is q is greater than or equal to 90 over 13. And I think if you make a decimal out of that, it's about 6.9. Alright, because my because my variable is on the right when I graph this, so let's graph it. So I'm going to graph this, and I'll put 90 over 13, which again is about 6.9 here. Now I determine what kind of a circle. Because there's a line right here, that means I have a closed circle because it can equal 90 over 13. And then my variable is on the right. My inequality points to the left. So because my variable is on the right, it's going to be the opposite direction when I graph. and that would be my answer. All right, let's go on. We have 2 more examples and a couple of word problems. Okay, example 3, write the problem down. Notice that we have y's on both sides, and it looks like we need to combine like terms over here. So I'm going to get started by combining like terms. So I'll bring the left side down, no changes. And then if I subtract 2y minus 1y, I get 1y plus 3. Now I need to get my variables together, so I'm going to subtract 1y from both sides. Draw my line. 3y minus 1y is 2y. Minus 7 is greater than or equal to, that cancels, and I get 3. Then it's easy from here. I just add 7 to both sides, and I get 2y is greater than or equal to 3 plus 7, which is 10. Then divide by 2. So y is greater than or equal to 5. Let's graph it. Draw a number line. Put your 5 there. Determine your circle that you have. It's going to be a closed circle because it's greater than or equal to. And then if greater than or equal to would be to the right. All right, one more example before the word problems. All right, here we go. Write the problem down. If you can pause it if you want, you know how to work these, then pause it and then just check your answer. Otherwise, I'll walk you through it. First, we're going to distribute the 4 on both, distribute the 4, so I get 12 plus 4r, make sure you distribute correctly, is less than 3r plus 6 minus r. Maybe I should combine like terms first, so let's combine that. So 3r plus a negative 1r, that actually is 2r, so I'm going to make that a 2. So 2r plus 6. I need to get my r's together, so I'm going to subtract the 2r because it's smallest and won't give me a negative. So that goes away. I have 6 on the right. Bring down my inequality. And then over here I have 12 plus 2r. Then I subtract 12. So I get 2r is less than negative 6. Then I'm dividing by a positive 2, not a negative. So I get r is less than negative 3. Try graphing that on your own if you can. Pause it and check it. Put a negative 3 here. And then you have an open circle because of the inequality. R is less than negative 3, which is this direction. All right, let's move on to some word problems. All right, camp costs. You are saving money for a summer camp, and the camp costs $1,800. You have saved $500 so far, and you have 14 more weeks to save the total amount. So what are the possible average amounts of money that you can save per week in order to have at least $1,800 saved? Write and solve an inequality. So first let's define your variable. Remember, we always want to define our variable. We're going to let x equal the amount of money, so that's what you're looking for, the amount of money per week. So write that down. So x equals the amount of money per week that you need to save. Okay, so now that we have our variable defined, we know that it's $1,800 that we have to have at least. So at least. So I'm going to write the 1,800 there. I have $500 so far, so I need to write that. So I have 500 plus I have 14 more weeks. So if I do 14 times x, the amount that I need to save, all of that added together has to be at least 1,800, which means greater than or equal to. And then I just solve it from there. So I would subtract 500 from both sides. And you know the drill on these. So 1,800 minus 500 is 1,300. Then just take the 1,300 and divide it by 14. So when I divide that out, I get x is this long decimal number. So I probably need to round that to dollars and cents, so $92. And let's say this is 86 cents. So that's how much I need to save every week. Or I could even round that to $93 if I just want to have a simple number. And all right, so let's go to the last problem, another word problem. Okay, you and your family are driving to the Grand Canyon as a road trip. The gas tank in your car holds 18 gallons, so that's important, and you have 2/5 of a tank of gas left. The gas mileage of the car is 28 miles per gallon. So write and solve an inequality to find the maximum distance to a gas station before you run out of gas. So D is our variable, distance. We want to find the distance before we run out of gas. Okay, so the maximum distance before we run out of gas. So let's see, what do we have? We have an 18-gallon gas tank with 2/5 left. So if you do 2/5 times the 18, that's going to tell you how much gas you have. Then we're going to take that and multiply it times the 28 miles per gallon, and that's going to tell me how far I can go. So 2/5 times 18. So 2/5 is the same thing as 0.4. If you take 2 and divide it by 5 in the calculator, you get 0.4. So if I multiply 0.4 times 18, that's going to give me 7.2. And then if I multiply that times 28, 7.2 times 28 would give me 201.6 miles. That's how far I can go on my gas tank, on my gas, before I run out, which is important if you're on a road trip and you're going somewhere. So I hope this lesson has helped to review multi-step equations, and I hope you have a great day.